Okay, let me ask you a couple questions. Let's get off of these documents for a few moments and I'll move things along before we get to a fine lunch. Oh, you started a new one, right? Yeah. Oh. Your father is Larry Helminiak, correct?
God, I hope so.
And Mr. Helminiak was, well, the founder of Carroll Insulation, correct?
Yes.
And ultimately, Mr. Helminiak, your father, turned Carroll Insulation into USI.
Correct.
He was the person who formed United Subcontractors Incorporated?
One of several.
Okay.
Yes.
Who were the other people?
David Nipper, Robert Grismala, Terry Burnham, John Belanis, and I think that's it.
Okay. How long does your father continue to work at Carroll Insulation, or work for Carroll Insulation, after the merger in 1998?
Until, I believe, 2005.
Okay. Do you know when in 2005 your father ceased to work for Carroll Insulation?
Not specifically, no.
Was your father working for Carroll Insulation in any capacity in 2006?
You know, Jack, just what?
He's the branch manager. He would know who all the employees are.
He can answer all he wants. We're getting into this post-merger date. Can we agree that at some point, I think in '98, it merged, and when you say Carroll Insulation, you're talking about USI?
Absolutely.
That's it.
Absolutely.
Right, I mean,
yes, we can easily agree to that. I thought we
Okay.
had, and no
Okay.
problem. When we talk about Carroll Insulation, we're talking about USI, correct?
Yes.
Okay, we all agree on that. And for all the intents and purposes, when we've been discussing Carroll Insulation here today during your deposition, Carroll Insulation is just a DBA. So when we say Carroll Insulation, we mean United Subcontractors Incorporated, correct?
Hopefully, yes.
Okay. Did your father, Larry Helminiak, work in any capacity for Carroll Insulation in 2006?
I don't think so.
Well, you're the branch manager, correct?
Yes.
Do you have your hands on payroll?
No.
Do you ever look over payroll to see who your employees are?
Yes.
If your father was an employee of Carroll Insulation in 2006, would you know it?
Yes.
Okay. Was he an employee of Carroll Insulation between 2007 to date?
No.
Has he performed any work for Carroll Insulation since 2006?
I don't know. You mean like installed insulation? What do you mean by work?
Any work. Has he performed any services in which he has been compensated?
That he's been compensated for? No.
Okay. Has he acted as an advisor since 2006?
Yes.
Do you have, that is you, Matt Helminiak, have any ownership interest in USI?
No.
Does your father, Larry Helminiak, have any ownership interest in USI?
No.
Have you ever had any ownership interest in USI?
Yes.
When was that?
From formation until Chapter 11 filing.
When was that?
I think 2009, but I'm not sure.
So after the USI filed Chapter 11, your ownership interests were terminated in USI.
Correct.
Is that the same for your father?
No.
Did your father ever have an ownership interest in USI?
Until, I think, 2005, till prior to his retirement.
Okay, so
I'm
following...
not sure of the date, though.
Okay, but in 2006, your father did not have any ownership interest in
Not that I know
USI,
of.
correct?